So first off, I know obviously we are still working together, so this isn't as much of an exit interview as much as more of a progress interview after your initial 6 months. But overall, I'm just gonna run it down. I actually did pull up a couple things I want to kind of share with you. So let me see if I can share my screen real quick. So I actually pulled together some transformations for you so far, and I just want to go ahead and pull these up. So let me share my screen real quick,
Okay.
and
It's
then
wild. I was looking at them the other day as well, and I'm very, very impressed where we started to where we are now.
yeah, and let me just confirm. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Let me go ahead. We'll pull up these two. So yeah, I just pulled these together, and this is funny because obviously this isn't your final transformation, so I made like a partial transformation. Let me go ahead and just let's open these real quick. Um, okay, so yeah, which is awesome because I know you and I
Crazy.
have talked about this as far as your side by sides and things like that. But just kind of before we dive into the overall arching, I just want to kind of go over like the actual visual transformation, which like is incredible. And I know the fact that I think you actually started at 203, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the fact we started 2 to 3, so overall over 40 pounds down, and then with the time you and I have worked together, down over 30. And of course, this is now out of date with that 159 weigh-in today. But like I just think it's kind of cool to look back on and have that kind of visual kind of change as well. Because I'm sure you're feeling it. We'll talk about that. But just kind of be able to see that side by side, which I think is not always the case when we do those regular progress photos. We're like comparing week to week rather than like 1 month versus month six. And I think that's pretty cool to
Yeah.
see as well.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, gosh, seeing these, it obviously it's almost embarrassing looking back. Like I didn't realize mentally like where I was, but seeing these side by side, it's incredible. I mean, heck, I can't even wear those shorts anymore that I have in
Yeah.
that first picture.
Which is a good thing, right? Seeing that visual
Yeah.
change. But I think it's kind of
Hmm.
good just to set the tone to make sure we got like, wow, like how far we have come, which is great. But more than anything, I kind of want to start by going back to kind of day one, whether that be when you kind of first initially started the fat loss phase at the 203-pound mark, kind of like where you were mindset wise and what kind of maybe sparked you to make this transformation, not only start on your own, but then continue working with me.
Yeah, so it's kind of odd how it all started, right? It was Thanksgiving. It was Thanksgiving. I woke up. I knew we were going to be going out, obviously eating with family, and I was trying to find something to wear. You know, it's not like we dress up, super nice, but we kind of put on something nice for pictures. And I just remember being so frustrated because I didn't have anything that fit or that looked like I wasn't carrying around this massive, midsection.
Yeah.
So at that moment, I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm gonna go enjoy Thanksgiving, but this is it. This is the start of a new journey. And prior to, look, I had done all the fads, right? I tried keto. I tried, just a low carbon general diet. I tried what I thought was a clean diet. And did it work? Sort of. I mean, there were some very short term changes, but the second I deviated from that program or that fad, it came right back.
Mhm.
So that's where I was like, you know what? If I'm really serious about this, I need to make sure I truly understand like the right way to do this.
Yeah.
And I feel like I found myself, this day and age, there's so many different thought process around what good looks like with a diet.
Yeah.
It's almost like the more you Google, the more confused you get. So I
Yeah.
was like, I just need to reset. I mean, and get back to what truly works. And even if that means it's going to take a little more time to figure out what my body appreciates and what it wants and needs.
Yeah.
So I just started going online, and I think I was on Instagram, and I was just looking up like workouts or recipes or something, and or maybe it was YouTube, but somehow, some way, one of your videos came up. And I just remember watching it going, all right, this looks like just a good guy. Like he's your average guy. He's not out here pushing this, you know, buy my $5,000 per like you were just a normal guy talking about very normal things, living a very, very normal life. And clearly I started binge watching your videos and I was like, look, where he's ended up and what he's accomplished, he knows what the heck he's talking about. So and I remember in one of your videos, honestly, I thought you were local because you were
Yeah.
traveling, I think maybe down south or something. And I was like, oh, maybe he's close by. So at that point, I didn't even know you were a coach. I just knew you knew what the heck you were talking about. So I think I deemed you just kind of, reaching out. And that's when I figured out, oh, you're a coach. And I guess that started our journey.
Yeah.
I knew after our
Hopefully,
first conversation, like, look, I'm all in.
yeah. Hopefully, the marketing's a little better and now people know I'm a coach. But yeah, and I think the big thing there is understanding that the fad diets, like you said, like you can get some short-term results, but it kind of leads to that yo-yo cycle of like losing
Yeah,
some weight for maybe 1 or 2 months, and then you try to go back to what we call quote unquote normal life, and it comes back on. And so one
sure.
thing that I think obviously you have experienced so far is like we always focus on sustainable practices, right? Making sure that when we go through things, when we make these changes, when we build these habits, that's something you can stick to for the long term, right? Because we don't want to
Yeah,
lose weight and then gain it back. We want to lose weight and make sure this is a lifestyle change. We build proper habits and we keep the weight off for life. I think that's a big thing that I've been talking to not only current clients, but even like family and friends. It's like, it is a lifestyle change. Like a kind of a part of you has to die to make that transformation and obviously
yeah,
keep it. And then kind of following
yeah.
that up, like how much do you feel like you thought it was going to take? Like, how much effort do you think it was going to take to make the transformation? How much do you feel like it is now in terms of like, is it more than you thought, less than you thought, easier? Like, what does that look like for you now?
As crazy as this may sound, um, it's so much easier than what I was expecting. And look, I'm not just saying that because I thought, okay, if I'm going to be serious, we're going to have to really have a massive diet change. And I'm really going to have to go out and put in all this cardio and undo all this work or this bad habits I've formed and created. It's going to take so much work and effort to undo that. Um, Man, that was not the case. I mean, and again,
Good.
I go back to, I'll never forget this. I was sitting on this couch right here in my office in our very first conversation. And I remember telling you, I'm one of those guys. I'm either all in or I'm all out. There's no in between.
Mhm.
And you were like, well, I'm gonna tell you now, I don't want you there. I
Yeah.
want you in, but you don't have to be all in for this because life is not about being all in. Like life's going to happen. And that's the beauty of this process and program is life can be life. You can still do the things you want to do and things you appreciate. Consistency is the key. I feel like now I'm out here like coaching people because so many people come and ask me like, you're half of what you used to be, Tim. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And typically I lead with, honestly, I'm just consistent.
Yeah.
Do I enjoy a slice of cake? Absolutely. Do I enjoy some pizza? Absolutely. Like I still eat the things I like to eat, but I'm only doing it at certain times and I'm preparing for those moments. Whereas before,
Yeah.
you just wake up and go, I just eat, eat, eat. So, it's not nearly as difficult as I thought. I don't even call it a diet. I mean, sure, there are certain calories that we're chasing. Sure, there's a protein number we're chasing, but not one time have you told me that I cannot eat this or I cannot have that.
Yeah.
We just have to factor it in.
Yeah, I
So
think it's almost
night and
the
day.
thing where I've kind of been telling you almost to enjoy a little bit more, right? Like when we
Yeah.
do have those trips, when you do go on vacation or travel for work, whatever it is, you have those hell yeah moments. I'm like, it's weird that a personal trainer or health and fitness coach is like gonna tell you to eat something fun or like to go ahead and enjoy it because as you mentioned, it's not
Yeah.
a diet, it's a lifestyle now. And
Yeah.
you do you feel like there like was a specific moment, like and obviously we're still working together, it's been 6 months, but like do you remember like was there, I mean, you mentioned that moment on the couch, but like when we started the program, like was it a month in, 2 months in, or just gradual? We noticed like something finally clicked as far as like, oh, this is sustainable. This is the program process and lifestyle I've been looking for. Like, do you remember was it a certain moment or just kind of gradual?
I would say probably after my first month into the program, because right at first, sure, you see the scale go down, and mentally you're going, oh, that's just the water, right? That's just a little bit of the junk in my body coming out. But kind of once I got over that hurdle, not even a hurdle, kind of once I got through those first 4 weeks, I could really start to understand that, all right, I'm still eating what I want to eat. I'm still losing. I'm starting to feel better. I think this is it. Like I think this is gonna work. It's not like I'm starving for some carbs anymore, like all those things I did in the past. So I would say, yeah, those first, 4 to 6 weeks, that's when it really hit me going, this is it. This is something I can do. I'm not struggling. I'm not craving. Um, the workouts are not insane, right? I remember you saying, just an hour. Just put in an hour. You don't have to be in the gym for 3, 4 hours a time.
Yeah. Tell
So yeah, it's that 4 to 6 week mark, I think, is when it really hit me that, okay, this is it. This is the program I've been needing and wanting for many years now.
Yeah. And obviously the physical transformation is awesome. Like we saw, you've lost over 40 pounds in total, or over 30 pounds since you and I worked together. What other kind of shifts have happened in terms of like, let's say your mindset or your habits, things like that, that have kind of not only led to the physical transformation, but also like other things in life? Like what is your mindset now around health and fitness? What kind of good habits have you built that will obviously get you leaner and then continue to have you stay lean?
Yeah, I think for the first time, I'm finally putting myself first above like all my other priorities that I just have in life. So that has led me to just some of the what is probably very routine for many people, and maybe this is kind of crazy to say, but making sure I'm getting my daily vitamin. Like I want now to make sure I'm getting my vitamins in. I want to make sure I'm getting my physical in because I'm so anxious to see my like all my blood results. I mean, for the first time in 30 years, I did blood work and every single category came back within normal range.
That's
I've
awesome.
never had that ever.
Hell yeah.
Um, so just making sure I'm truly putting myself first. I'm doing all the things I should have been doing for many years, right? I'm very conscious about foods now when I'm going out to eat. Again, not that I'm restricting, but I now know when I order that, steak, they're going to put 4 pounds of butter on it. So ask for it on the side and just take half of it. You
Yeah.
know,
Be
all
intentional.
those little things that it's just brought awareness and it's just really kind of changed my thought. I mean, even my clothes, I know you know I kind of joked. I've had to completely redo my wardrobe, but in the
Yeah.
past, you wouldn't catch me thinking about or wanting to wear a tank top. Now it's like, dude, I'm going to get me friggin' 10 tank tops. I'm
Yeah.
rocking a tank top. I finally got the mix session caught.
Exactly. Sometimes like the physique almost is the fashion statement. You can wear
Yeah.
anything when you
Yeah.
look good, you can wear anything and it enhances your physique and how you look. And I think a big thing too is
Yeah.
what you mentioned as far as putting yourself first, that doesn't mean you all of a sudden become less of a, let's say, provider or less of a family member, friend, coworker. Like it's one of those things like you can't pour from an empty cup, right? So let's
Yeah.
fill your cup up first, and then when you overflow like you are now, it enhances everything else, right? So you don't feel like you're sacrificing what you were before. It's just like you put yourself first, you fill up your own cup, and now you can even fill up everyone else's even better.
Yeah. No, you're spot on there. Even work wise, right? And again, it's one of those things where you don't realize how bad you feel until you kind of go through this journey.
Mhm.
Um, I thought I felt great. I thought mentally I was good. I thought my abilities at work were fine. But now that I've kind of cleaned up my diet, I've kind of, gone down this journey. I feel like I'm a completely different person, and mentally, I'm so much better, so much sharper. I feel like work-wise, things have gone up. Again, I've got some coworkers now where they've seen kind of where I've come from, and now when I go out, I mean, it's a little too hot now, but when I was going out and getting my steps in, they would join me. They wanted to do it too.
That's awesome.
They too started cleaning up their diet. They too started making sure we had competitions where we sync our phones up, and when I did a workout, they get notified. When they do a workout, I get notified. So it was like this little internal competition. So
Yeah.
it felt good that the work I did was obviously noticed and people wanted to kind of follow and they were kind of, just want to kind of be a part of that
Yeah.
that that journey with me.
Setting a standard and like I think as all men should like be a leader, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes it might be where you have to start that, right? Because obviously you were
Hmm.
in a situation beforehand where maybe you didn't have anybody like that, and whether that was obviously you looking out for help with me and coaching, and then now you're kind of that spark for other people, which is huge, right? Because I think a lot of people
Yeah.
think it's like a solo journey, right? A lot of times it's like, oh, it's just me, it's me, it's me. But it's like, okay, well, that's almost like isolating and not as productive as having a community and support, or obviously, you can reach out to me at any time, right? You and I hop on calls all the time discussing
Yeah.
progress, wins, room for improvement, whatever it is, confirming that you are on the right track. You can go on vacation, enjoy yourself, and even come back down 2 pounds. So all those little things, having a community and support and that kind of external validation and encouragement is huge. So I love that. As far as big wins. We've talked about the weight coming down, the confidence, things like that. But as far as like strength, obviously stronger in the gym, more energy, confident. Like run me through some like non-scale wins.
Yeah, definitely. Well, one, confidence. I think confidence just in general is been tremendous. And again, not that I've just this guy had like low self-esteem, but just walking a little taller, right? If
Yeah.
feeling better about yourself, having the confidence where, and of course, I have my own gym at the house, but going into the gym, knowing that what I'm doing is right, knowing what I'm doing is working. I mean, I'm seeing firsthand where when I started, I was grabbing the 25s and now I'm grabbing the 45s for the barbell, right? So,
Oh yeah.
having that confidence, having that awareness of this is working. I'm seeing it. And again, kind of going back to day one, I think I said something like, I don't really care about putting on a bunch of size. I just want to lose the fat.
Mhm.
Now I'm starting to go, I'm ready. I'm ready to put on some size.
Yeah,
Like
get
it's
the
gone.
muscle, get the
I'm
strength.
anxious now to kind
Yeah.
of put on some size. So I think that's our next steps. And I would say just overall confidence is there. I don't see myself stopping. It's certainly a lifestyle. I'm just ready to keep going and kind of see where I can take this.
Yeah, and that's the fun part when we have I always say like get lean once, never get fat again. So we have that ability to
Yeah.
get lean. And then we have the fun of, once again, building more muscle, fueling your body for performance, strength training, having the kind of that kind of bulk and cut cycle. Not saying we need to
Yeah.
bulk. I think I like building more than bulking.
Yeah.
Like that building phase where we do focus on strength, performance, size. We don't focus on just seeing the scale go down, and we have the ability to build a lot more of a well-balanced, well-rounded physique aside from just losing the weight, right? That's the
Yeah.
first step. Get the weight off, get those habits built, and then you kind of have the kind of yeah, essentially evolution of your physique over time too. And there's anything like I always ask this question is there anything that like the day one you or the old you have been like, that's not possible. I would never believe that could happen to me or I could do that. Anything specific that you've kind of experienced, be like day one you or old you would be like, I could never lose that weight, maintain that weight, and think I have a well-balanced life or anything like that.
Yeah, for sure. And look, I don't want to sound like I was doubting this journey coming in, but as someone in their almost mid 40s, um, I am extremely close of seeing my abs. I mean, I can actually see the top, right? Just a little bit more work on the bottom. I mean, being in my mid 40s and having abs, I didn't think that was ever possible without, going through some crazy gym, crazy cardio, being on something, right? Just as a middle-aged person, I didn't think that was possible. Um, Honestly, I didn't think I could lose this much weight. I kind of in the back of my mind said I'm still gonna kind of have somewhat of that dad bod, right? It's natural. I've done this to myself. It's just something I've got to live with. So um, yeah, I mean, just again, being in my mid 40s. And I really didn't change a ton. I mean, I just cleaned up my diet and was very consistent. And yeah, I feel like I'm a very, very, very different person.
Yeah, build some really good systems. And I
Yeah,
think a big part is it is daunting, right? When you hear you need to lose 40 pounds or 45,
yeah,
50 pounds, it's like, oh my gosh, like I can't do that. That sounds
yeah,
impossible, right?
right,
Then when we break it down into building systems and having like the time's going to pass anyways, right? Either you can spend 6 months still being a spot you want to be, or you can spend 6 months making progress and getting to where you want to be, right? The time's going to pass anyways. So let's focus on making sure that that time passes leading towards our goals. And I've
right.
probably heard this before, but like the best way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. So don't focus on
That's
50
it.
pounds, focus on the first five, and then 10 and 15 and so on. And now we can look back a little bit over 6 months, be like, wow, or a little bit over just, yeah, I mean, because you started, I guess, Thanksgiving. So probably seven or
Yeah,
8 months down 40 pounds, right? And but
yeah.
because you decided
It's
to make that
crazy.
switch, because you decided to make that change, focus on yourself, invest in yourself. And that's where we are today, which is awesome. Uh,
Yeah,
which is I cannot be more excited about that. And then a big thing too, I always want to focus on as far as long-term sustainability is like the identity shift, right? From who we used to be, our old thoughts were, and where we are now. And I think everything you just talked about, as far as the old you thought, like, oh yeah, in order to get in shape, I have to do 2 workouts a day for 2 hours. I have to eat out of Tupperware containers, chicken and rice. And now the new you realize is like, oh, it's not what I thought it was. It's not what people sometimes make it out to be. If you have to do these crazy, crazy things, all these extremes that get clicks on the internet, but are not real life. And I think that's what obviously you mentioned as far as watching my content is what I try to always get across. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
like I am, as much as I like to say, think is like an average Joe who's happened to find really, really good systems, be very consistent with it, and then boom, 4, 5, 6 years later, have the physique of my dreams with the energy performance without feeling like I'm sacrificing my life. Like you said, you still eat pizza, you still eat cake. I do too. I try to incorporate that in all my content as well. And then just most of the time, I'm still kind of getting my shit done and taking care of business like you are too,
Right. Yeah.
um, which is
Yeah.
huge.
And I think that's where I would say the last couple months, and I guess this kind of goes back to you saying you put in the work one time to lose the weight, and then now it can kind of get fun with this, right? There's so much more flexibility in kind of where we could take your body based on what you're looking to accomplish. And I would say the last couple months I've really seen that. I mean, we joke. I went on vacation for a week, and I went to Disney, which is the capital of just junk.
Food, yeah.
And and again, I had a great time, but I came back 2 pounds down.
Mhm.
So I think I've reached the point where having that cheat meal or having that treat is not really going to hurt you as long as you're consistent in everything else you're doing. Again, I knew I'd wake up and say, all right, I'm going to go out today. We're going to go to this place and they have a phenomenal whatever cookie. So yeah, maybe I pull back a little bit on breakfast or I pull back a little bit on lunch, but I know what's coming. And again, I still enjoyed it. I had that treat. So just knowing consistency always wins. There was a point where I would eat that cookie and I would say, well, the day's ruined, so why not? Let me just now go out and have one more. Let me just go out and have a slice of pizza now. Like that was my mentality of all in or all out.
Yeah.
And now it's very, very different. I know it's not going to hurt me. Go out and enjoy it. Have fun. Life is life.
Remove the
Just
guilt from it.
understand.
Yeah.
But what's that?
Remove the guilt from it, right? Be like,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. So it's certainly fun now knowing that I can kind of do whatever I want to do. Just
yeah.
factor it in, plan for it.
Yeah, it's
It's
the
all good.
systems create freedom, right? By having the
Yeah.
systems, whether it be with health and fitness, work, career things, whatever it is, life, systems do create freedom, from what I've experienced so far in my 28 years. And then kind of closing out, as far as what you would tell yourself, let's say back on Thanksgiving or before you joined the program, if someone was hesitant to either join the program or take that next step and invest in their own health and fitness, like what would you tell your past self or tell someone else in your situation beforehand now that you've been through the process yourself and will continue to going forward?
Yeah. I think first, and I'm talking to myself or anyone, um, to be able to experience what I've experienced and kind of gone through, monetary, like the monetary value to get to this point means nothing. Like I would pay double if that's what it took to be able to kind of experience what I've gone through and the way I feel.
That's
If there's anything that's worth investing, it's yourself, right? So if I was concerned about the cost of things, remove it. Find a way. Because look, I was spending that money on other things, much less important than it when it comes to myself. So first and foremost, there, invest in yourself. I mean, that's it's the most important thing you can do because when you're right, everything else around you becomes right. Like I've seen that, I've witnessed that. Everything in my life is very, very different now than what it was, just because I'm there, I'm present, I'm mentally better, I'm physically better, I feel better. Like everything is just better, so everything around me becomes better. Um, I would say that first and foremost. Second thing, trust the process, right? This is a process. I've heard you say it many times. You didn't put on the weight quick, so it's not always going to come off quick.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's a process. this is the right way to do things. I've done those fads. I've done the quick, lose 5, 10 pounds in a couple weeks. You're not losing the weight. It's water. It's nonsense. So yeah, trust the process. Um, be willing to like fail fast, right? If something doesn't go right, it's okay, right? Learn from it, adjust, move on. Um, as you and I have seen, my scale has gone up. There have been weeks where my was flat or maybe even gone up a little bit,
Mhm.
but it's just a part of the process where things are happening. But then what happens that next week? Boom, we have a nice drop.
Yeah.
So don't get caught up in the short-term moments. This is a long-term process. It takes time to undo, unfortunately, some of the bad habits maybe people have created for themselves. It takes time. But yeah, dude, this is a journey that I would highly recommend anyone jump on. Um, again, I do it all over again if I had to.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I think that what you said there was key as far as the process-based goals rather than just the outcome-based goals. Because the
Yeah.
scale will lie to you. You and I have talked about that, water fluctuations, carb intake, sodium, all that kind of stuff. But it's like, oh, but if I hit my calories, my protein, if I have a good mindset, killed a work, crushed a workout today, got my steps in, like that is a huge win for the day. And you stack up
Yeah.
those wins over time, and you're changing your self-esteem, your self-identity, your weight, physically, mentally, all that kind of stuff, which is obviously the goal of the program, why I love what I do in every aspect possible. But I'm glad you are able to show obviously what is possible too, not only for obviously people in the community within the coaching program, but also outside, right? Guys at work, family, stuff like that, where you're setting that example and showing like what is truly possible and how it isn't a complete sacrifice. You don't have to give up everything you enjoy and life and travel and friends and family and social events. You can work all those things in and still be a better version overall, performance wise, energy wise, and just have that balance, right? Because I think
Yeah.
some people like will say balance and they're like, oh yeah, balance. I'm gonna go eat Cheesecake Factory every night, or balance. I'm gonna go ahead and skip my workout today because I don't feel like doing it, right? There's still effort that needs to be put in. But at the end of the day, like you said, it creates a level of freedom and flexibility when you do have those systems built out, which makes life so much enjoyable. Because trust me, I would not be sitting here preaching this, having a six pack, if I had to give up all my enjoyment out of life, right? I love my ice cream. My girlfriend and I love to go try new restaurants. I'm a big foodie, if you can tell from my YouTube channel of full days of eating and 10,000 calorie cheat days. I would not be able to sit here and preach if I didn't believe it with 100% of my heart that it's possible. And I think you're a great example of what is possible and how you can really have everything, right? The best of both worlds.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's important for me, is as you know, I have a desk job. I don't have the ability to be very, mobile throughout the day. I'm in meetings many hours throughout the day. I'm sitting behind a desk many hours throughout the day. So, just I guess what I'm trying to say is proof again that you don't have to have that job where, oh, he's so active throughout the day anyways, he's working, so that's how he's getting his steps in, or that's how he's burning more calories. Like, no, like I just had to find very unique ways to get it in, right? And again, when I have a break in between meetings, I go out and walk. As soon as I get home, I hop on the treadmill and take those last two calls from the treadmill. Whatever it may be, right? I go outside when I'm, after dinner, get a walk in, just whatever it takes to get those steps in to stay active. That's what I had to do, and again, it worked very much so. It certainly worked.
Yeah.
But again, it's just if you're investing in yourself and you're truly wanting to make a change, you'll find those little things that help you get to where you want to be. Um, there's there's nothing more rewarding. Like for the first time ever, I wanted to work. I could not wait to get into the gym to work out because I knew the feeling I was going to get. I knew the changes or increases in weight or whatnot, the improvements. I knew I was going to see that, and there's no better euphoria, right, to be able to see the weights go up on that barbell.
Yeah.
Right. I've got, mirrors in my gym, looking in the mirror a little
Flexing
more than I
in.
used to, going, man, like it's really working. But
Yep.
again, that next morning, I get on the scale and going, it paid off. I'm down another half pound, whatever it may be. Right. There's nothing more rewarding.
Yeah, no, that's huge. And I'm excited to continue our journey together because, yeah, we're not done yet. This is just the
No.
start. And I'm super excited to kind of finish off this fat loss phase next couple of weeks, get you into that reverse diet, get you up to maintenance. Obviously, the holiday season coming up, more calories, more food, better performance, and kind of having that essentially a full circle moment at
Yeah.
Thanksgiving this year. We're going to be wearing whatever the hell you want because everything looks good. Right? You're not going through your closet being like, what am I going to wear? You're going through the closet like, I can wear anything. I'm like
Right.
and look good and feel good, which is huge. But any other final words? I mean, and like wrap up. I mean, I think we've covered just about everything, the changes. But any last words as far as your experience so far and any things you're looking forward to go in the future?
Look, just a huge shout out to you. I mean, again, you didn't make this feel like you're this difficult, trainer who's just, speaking nonsense. Like it was so easy. I could text you at any time. I could call you at any time. Sending you an email, whatever it may be, like you are very reachable. So thank you so much. Clearly what you're doing is working. I wouldn't change a freaking thing. I think that's what's brought me, and I think as I've seen you grow your business, I think everyone understands the value you bring and just your ease to do business with. It's been fantastic.
Awesome. I appreciate it, Tim. Well, as always, if you have anything you need from me, questions, let me know. But we'll continue just circling back on Monday with our check-in and everything like that going forward to continue to crush it. But I appreciate you taking the time to kind of once
Yeah,
again
man.
discuss your experience so far. And yeah, I appreciate it, man. Happy Friday. I hope you have a great weekend. Okay.
Yes, thank you. You too.
All right. See you, Tim. Take care.
See ya.